You're listening to
The Audacity.
Welcome back.
Hi, Karen. Good to see ya.
Hi, honey. Welcome back to the Audacity.
Welcome
friends.
back. And I just want to say, okay, so last episode we discussed Gen Alpha slang, which we need to do a deep dive
Which is
on, by the way.
unhinged, yes.
Okay, but they said this thing that a big butt or a nice butt
Or a good butt.
Good butt means gyat. And Andrew, you have some follow-up research.
Yeah, we didn't understand why.
Yes, I've discovered that the origin of gyat is actually goddamn.
Ooh.
So can you use it in a sense? Can you use it correctly?
Yes, ma'am. No,
Don't man me. Don't you dare.
Yeah,
Do I-
miss.
I think it's like that's
Shorty.
that is quite the exceptional gyat you have there.
Is it? Okay, good to know.
Goddamn, that gyat is gotten.
But okay, also, like, why is a Gen Alpha talking about a butt, like a nice butt? Like, she's a little too young to talk about that. That was like a little appropriate.
Because they're cuspy. Gen Alpha's on the cusp. Now they're Gen Alpha is like 13, 12, 13, 14.
I know, but do not talk. I wouldn't want to say good butt with my dad. Is that her dad?
Maybe.
That was a little inappropriate, but okay.
I know, but whatever. But thank you, child, because now we know.
Yes. Children are teaching the masters.
That's right. And you are fully decked out in a sundress.
I know. Listen, men like love a sundress, and so you guys can literally go fuck yourselves because the men cannot keep their hands off of me.
Men like two things: girls who don't wear makeup, okay, and a sundress.
Isn't that your ideal person, Andrew? A girl with no makeup, naturally pretty, sundress, loves football, like smokes pot, like it does, but she gets like the perfect high, gets drunk, doesn't get too drunk, eats whatever she wants, never gets fat.
Really
That's,
nice
like,
skin.
Loves Marvel movies.
Right.
Like that's just like every guy's dream girl.
Hawk
No,
to a girl.
Yeah, that's hawk to a girl.
that's literally Huck to a girl. But she doesn't wear sundresses. It's like I'm wearing no damn sundress.
We just caught her on a club night.
Yeah,
You know?
she literally is that girl that is just like everyone
I will
likes
say
her.
that
What?
there's a longer version of the interview, and it does seem like she's trying a little bit to do like a little persona.
Yeah, but you know what the great thing about clips are? Like, if someone watches this whole podcast, like, there's moments that are really funny and there's moments when they might say the same thing about us. But if you're just watching the clips, you're going to be like, this podcast is fire 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Like, that we never need to watch the long version, you know?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
then I know what you mean. She, like, gets into it. She's, like, really leaning into the Hawk to it thing. But we don't care.
But she also was trying to make her friend laugh. I just think she's like that girl. She's just that girl that like everyone just loves and she doesn't have to try.
Also, remember being 22? Like, we all
I
did
wasn't
that.
like that at 22. No, most women are not like that at 22.
What, like,
That's
carefree,
just that
confident?
like, just that like, she's just that like everything is like easy.
Right. It wasn't for me when I was 22. I was a ball of nerves.
That's what I say. New
I
York
was a
women,
neurotic mess.
I think from that area of the country, there are a lot of women like that in Midwest. They're like the funnest girls.
Doesn't it seem just more casually hot than here where everything's so much
Well, that's
effort?
my point is this: is that from like when they're young, like under 25, they're just like effortlessly hot, and then they hit 30, and then they're like, oh wow, you gained like they're like the big girls at the club. New York women, I think we're so ambitious is because we weren't that, and we were never this carefree.
I wasn't.
New York doesn't attract that carefree girl.
New York attracts neurotic high achievers.
That's right, who want to like have babies in their 50s because they want to prove they can.
Yes, no New York girl would have gone viral. She would have overthought the question, talked about like connection and communication.
Right.
They would have even scrapped the interview.
Right. She'd be like, oh, I just like do this like Kama Sutra pose. Or just like, shut the fuck up, New York bitch. This girl, like this, New York doesn't attract that girl.
No.
So but New York women stay hot. We're like the reverse. We probably are not New York doesn't attract the best. Okay. Yes. Hot girls go to New York, but like we stay hot. Like being hot, it's like, you know.
New York is the capital of being hot in your 30, like the mecca of hot 30 something.
Bingo.
Like you want to find a hot 30 something girl who's got like her still's eggs. But
me.
you're so eggy. I know. I'm like literally staring at you. Got all her partying out of the way. Has a career. I'm not saying career is everything because I feel like that's a little bit of an empty lie. But she makes money, so it's going to be like a solid two-income household.
But she in her 30s, she still believes having a career is everything. Wait till she gets to 40, and then she goes, "That's it."
That was empty.
That was empty.
She's not disillusioned yet, but that you want to find that girl, you don't even have a choice. New York is full of that girl. You can't spit on that thing without hitting that girl.
Right. That's it. All right, great.
Okay, so great catching up with you. Oh my God, as always, it's time to go deep.
being pretty is one thing, but being pretty and funny and intelligent and conversational and kind-hearted and insightful and mentally and emotionally aware.
This is me.
And grateful for things in life and know how to treat the people around you and have a fat ass. Ugh,
Not me. Okay.
blessings.
That was me until the fat ass.
Men
That was-
actually hate that. They actually hate a woman who's like funny and grateful and all of those things. They're like, just shh. Perfect.
they end up with a crazy woman.
Right. And here's the thing. I trust almost everything that Lizzo has to say, but I don't know that men consciously look for those qualities where he's like, she's hot and she takes care of herself. She's got a fat ass and she's smart and she's funny and she's really pretty. But she's not grateful enough.
Right.
She's not grateful. And she's not aware. She's just not grateful enough aware. So no.
No, right.
I don't know that men think that way. I think women think that way.
Well, I think attraction is a funny thing, and I think people fall in love with an X factor that they can't put their finger on.
It's smell. It's
pheromones.
Yeah, you fall in love with someone's like neck smell, like right here.
It's a pheromones, but it's not like actual smell. It's like a hormone.
The men that I've been the
excretion.
most hopelessly in love with, which had nothing to do with our compatibility, like I hadn't put it together yet that you have to choose both. Like this was like last week, like before I like officially computed that attraction is a trap. Connection is a trap. You have to get past those things and look at like their personality, compatibility, their habits, their goals, like all that kind of stuff. So I didn't know that.
Ugh,
but
what
the
a
guys
buzzkill.
I know, it's
Such a
disgusting. Being an
buzzkill.
adult's so gross. But the men that like ruin my heart and like really I got so into are the ones who's like right here, like right in this part of their neck smelled so good.
See, I think there's something else from childhood that's triggering you. I really do think we
What?
all. I don't know what.
Fix me.
No. I can't answer that for you, Karen. That you have to get to that decision in your own journey.
God, that's so
but
annoying.
This
journey's so long.
I really I think that all the time. Like, when the fuck is this journey? What am I
Pretty
getting?
is being pretty.
Okay. This is my final thought. We can move on. I'm going to say the final thought. We can move on. Okay.
Please say your final
This is
thought.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think we all want to go back home, and we pick people that remind us of home.
I'm gonna cry.
We pick people who remind us of home, and we may not be conscious of like what reminds you of home with this person. I don't know. People say, "Oh, it's like people say, oh, it's your most toxic parent. That's who you're attracted to." I don't know if that's
definitely not.
I don't think that's true. I just think it's something about home that reminds you of this person.
Although it's definitely not my most toxic parent. Well, who am I to say? What do I even know about myself? But I will say I've dated two people who I was super head over heels in love with, who looked kind of like my dad. Not like a spitting image,
Yeah.
but like had his complexion.
Yeah,
kind
they
of.
say she marries daddy. Women marry daddy. That's
My
what they
dad's
say.
great.
But I love blondes. I love like light hair.
They're
light
both
blue.
blonde men.
I know, but I like that, and my dad's not that.
My dad is, but I've dated that twice, and I was obsessed.
I know. I like lighter. I listen. I think brunettes are amazing. Like, do you? But like, I just like I love
I always said that I like dark-haired guys, but I keep going for these blondies.
yeah.
What do I know? You know what it is? Here's the lesson. I don't know shit about me. I don't know myself. I don't know.
You don't know
I
what you're gonna
nothing.
like.
No, and I just have to try to keep guardrails on to be like, okay, I guess you're into this now, but like, just make sure that it checks these boxes so you don't completely go off the rails.
Oh my god, this is like another set. Okay, this could be a deep dive, but like I'll tell you, I'm thinking about this book I read. It's called Why Him, Why Her. I'll go really quickly. Why Him, Why Her. We all have all of us have four hormones. We have serotonin, dopamine, estrogen, and testosterone. All of us have those hormones, but we have it in different factors. And this woman, Helen Fisher, who's an anthropologist, she figured out what people fall in love with. So people who are high dopamine, these are your creatives, these are your intellectuals, these are your novelty seekers, these are people that hate the same thing.
I feel seen.
Okay, high dopamine people fall in love with high dopamine people.
That seems like a disaster.
They also have they have the best sex life, and they have the highest divorce rate. So
That tracks.
that's high dopamine people.
Okay.
Then we have high serotonin people. These are like your Midwest guys, your accountants, your lawyers. They like predictability. They like structure. They like organization.
But I like those
They
things too.
Okay, but we're all in. Okay, but we're not like. We all have them in different varying. No
Okay,
one's
okay.
like all dopamine. No one's all serotonin. It's
Okay.
like what mixed to are. Okay,
Right,
so
right.
the high serotonin people, these are your professionals,
stable
the
professionals.
managers.
Yeah.
They like predictability. They like structure. They're not particularly novelty seeking. They like
Okay.
to, they eat the same thing. They believe in institutions. They believe in organizations. They believe in religion. Okay. That is high serotonin people. And high serotonin people marry high serotonin people, and they have the lowest divorce rates. High testosterone people, these are your police off. But okay, let's just say this.
and that means women also?
Well, yeah. So she says this: you can be a woman and have high testosterone.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
it's more masculine energy.
Okay.
And you could be a man, you could have high estrogen.
So is it that an opposite attracts?
So people with high testosterone fall in love with people with high estrogen.
Makes sense. So like a manly man falls in love with a feminine girl.
Masculine energy falls in love with feminine energy.
Because I've always attracted very masculine dudes.
Right. So
like
maybe
super manly guys.
So we're all like different. So in her book, she talks about how like we're all actually different varying degrees. Like maybe you're a dopamine serotonin person, or maybe you're a dopamine serotonin estrogen person. Like you actually can get tested for your hormone levels, and to tell like what kind of person you'd be attracted to, or no, who you actually end up falling in love with. And she said that without a doubt that these studies are correct. People with high dopamine fall in love with people with high dopamine. And serotonin falls in love with serotonin. Estrogen falls in love with testosterone. And again, that's nothing to do with, she said, it's nothing to do with gender. There's women that have I know a girl that actually has high testosterone.
I know plenty of girls like that.
Yeah, and she's with a guy that's a little more
unusual.
like beta. He actually looks like handsome. I don't know. But she also could be like,
I feel like we, off the top of our heads, could come up with those girls that we know.
right. But she could be like a testosterone serotonin person, which I think she is. She's like so serotonin. She like hates, she's so, everything has to be scheduled. Like this.
But you know what? As like I feel like I have been a very dopamine person, and I'm becoming a more serotonin person.
Okay.
I love routine. I love things being the
Structure.
same. I love structure. Yeah, I like it.
But you also like
chase
interesting
excitement in different ways.
But you also have intellectual curiosity, and you
Yes.
like someone who's so that's a dopamine thing.
Yeah, but in the past, my dopamine thing was like love to party, love to go out, whatever, and that is so
Or
not
like,
me
hey,
anymore.
let's drive to Kansas.
Right, that's not like. See, I don't want to drive to Kansas.
Right, but like maybe there's a time like, yeah, let's just like fucking go to Kansas.
But I can plan to go to Kansas 2 months in advance.
right,
And that makes me feel good.
right, but it has to be right. So American culture values serotonin people. Like if you're a high serotonin person, you'll be successful in American culture.
That's good to know.
Because manage like 9 to 5, or these are like so. That was a fascinating book that I read.
When I think back to the super dopamine people, oh, that's so interesting. I'm thinking about like everyone I ever dated, right? So the first person I ever dated was very dopamine, zero serotonin. Like I'm telling you, no serotonin, not a drop in his body. Okay, you could have bled this man dry, and he would have had no serotonin in him. Okay,
That's why he's
been
depressed.
like, where's the more than depressed? Okay,
Yeah.
like a lot of issues around that. Can't hold a steady job, like whatever. Genius. Artistic genius, okay? Like the most brilliant person I've ever met, truly. But handicapped with his lack of serotonin. I mean, it's serotonin desert in that man, okay? And it leads to problems, all right? And then I dated a guy who was, he was high dopamine, but he cosplayed high serotonin. So he had like a demanding 9 to 5 that was very corporate. He was really good at it, and he made like a lot of money and lived in a nice place or whatever. But his real self was a crazy, raging, cocaine addicted sex addict.
He wanted novelty.
All the time. That's a burnout relationship. But
Yeah.
but I have consistently gone, and then that I have evolved into dating people who have really exciting lives but are very stable in them.
Right. So
Do you know what I mean?
maybe
So-
your hormones like changed.
I feel like I'm evening out, and I feel like that's what I'm attracting.
Me too. I feel like I'm not attracting that, but I'm evening out. So
I like people who do exciting things, but who have it together. I guess that's what it is. I don't value the chaos of being purely dopamine, anymore. I
Novelty
don't.
seeking.
It's not hot to me. Where in the past it was so attractive, and now I actually find that repellent. Where you can't build a life with that.
right, you can't. I would argue. I think that's why actors get divorced. I mean, there's many reasons. I mean, they're narcissists. They have so much money.
They're
they
absolute
could just
sociopaths.
and they also could just get divorced. And it's like not that. Who gives a fuck? It's like $1 million. Who cares?
Whatever.
But I also think it might be that they're high dopamine people. That the novelty wears off. They need constant novelty, change.
Not only do they need it, it's always available to them.
Right.
Because if you're in those high levels of entertainment, or even in low levels of entertainment, honestly, there's always someone around. There's always a new person. There's always stuff. They all date each other also.
Yeah, they probably like. I bet they get broken up, but they're just like, yeah. I
They're
don't
like,
know.
okay. Well, people get divorced and then they're in like another high profile relationship really fast.
I know,
I'm
'cause
like,
they're
oh,
just
it doesn't hurt that much, does
No,
it? Or it
no.
does for like a minute.
Yeah, you're like, I'm healing.
You're all dopamine.
right.
The dopamine goes and just floods right back.
Yeah. I don't think like their breakups are like our breakup. It's just like there's
My
like,
breakups are brutal.
Yeah.
You've seen me. You've had to peel me off the floor.
and maybe you just kind of expect it when you're in that like kind of group. You're just like, yeah, we're probably gonna all end up divorced and like.
But also, I think if you're like so set financially and there's always endless opportunity for more people, how much can something actually hurt you? Is that like a silly thing to say?
I think to get to that level of success, you have to be a sociopath, and that would come with your relationships.
Because if I were brokenhearted, but I had $10 million in the bank, I'd heal faster.
Yeah. But also to get to that level where you have that.
I'd be an absolute psychopath who doesn't get their feelings hurt the same way that normal people
or
do.
you just kind of like, all right, well, fuck him. Like, I'm going to fuck him over.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway. All right.
No, that was great.
That's great.
So, all right, now we're going to rapid fire, a little TikTok
Rapid
action.
fire.
And see what we think. All right, Andrew, hit it.
Going on dates with high quality guys, actually insane. I'm like going on a date with a high quality guy. Because of him, I'm turning my Instagram on private. I don't even feel the need to post on social media really anymore. He makes me want to have a sourdough starter just ready at my house at all times. He makes me want to have eucalyptus hanging from my shower. Crop tops, I want to throw them all away and only dress like Sophia Richie now. I have never been more on top of going to the gym. This is your sign and mine to only spend your time and energy on high quality guys, because may I say, it is amazing being so motivated and inspired by someone else to step my shit up versus trying to convince someone's son to be a man.
Bingo.
Night and day, baby.
Beautiful. I love
queen.
it. I love it. And let me
High
just
quality
say,
only.
she wants to become Hakto girl.
Yeah.
How the circle of life goes on. But I know that feeling so well.
I have put my profile on private one time. And it was because I was dating someone who's kind of mid. And it was... and I want to be able to post about him without everybody seeing.
And you were like, he wasn't Instagram hot.
No, he was, but I was like, the relationship was so confusing to me that I didn't need a lot of outside input. And I was just like, let me just put this on private. Let me not show everybody everything. And then I can just post and like not worry about it.
I've literally know exact like you know, obviously we're in the comedy world, we associate with comedians, and then I'll go out and like associate with like regular guys, like finance, whatever, and then I have that same feeling where I'm like, Amanda, you need to stop, grow the fuck up, take off your shit, your TikTok shit, grow up. You're gonna like, they're looking for mothers.
They're
You're not
looking
a
for
mother.
quiet luxury.
Yeah.
Comedy is not quiet luxury. It's not quiet and it's not luxury.
No,
Those are
no.
the opposite of what comedy is.
Right. And honestly, like doing this, people just have so many misconceptions. Like I've been out on dates with guys. I don't know if like with you, if that's happened to you, but like they'll be like, oh, you do comedy. There's just so many misconceptions of like being a comedian.
People have no idea. I know. I'm like, what do you even talk about?
Yeah.
I don't have the balls to be like you mostly.
I mean, I don't talk about any of them because none of them are interesting, but like.
But I mean you in the general sense. Like I talk about
Oh.
sex and dating almost exclusively in my set. And me.
But you don't talk about every guy you've ever been on a date
No,
with.
but it's like it's just kind of a mishmash of everybody.
Right. I mean, so sometimes I don't even put in my dating profile because I don't want to deal with the misconceptions.
I never put it in my dating profile.
Yeah.
I would never say comedian. You're not going to get the guy that you want. It's going to be a weirdo that's attracted to that. You have to tell people after the fact when they're
Yeah.
already attracted to you. And then you go, by the way, I'm a comedian.
Right.
And then they just go, oh, that's interesting. Da-da-da. And you just get to, now the ball's in your court and you paint it how you want, you know? Like you serve it to them. You can't let people be getting ideas.
No.
So people see comedian and it sounds like they think hooker.
I'll say this. I don't know if people. Oh, it's my bra. I have to fix it. Sorry, guys. I don't know if men actually understand what that means. I'll be honest with you. I don't think non-comedians understand what being a comedian is unless you're an artist and like a creative person. I think that's, but like I've found that I've had no problem getting a boyfriend. But when I date these guys, sometimes they're like, wait, you're going to another open mic? Well, not anymore. This is like back in the day, but like I don't open mic anymore. But you know what I'm saying? Like they don't understand the lifestyle. They don't understand the hang.
It.
I don't think men are inherently turned off by a stand-up comedian. I think it's the lifestyle.
I think so too. I think that it's that whole thing. Like men are intimidated by a funny girl. I really don't think so. I think men appreciate a funny girl. They like someone who's easy to hang out with, but they don't understand the lifestyle.
That's a lifestyle, right? Yeah. If you're like actually funny, if you're like trying to be funny and like loud and obnoxious, maybe you're just not that funny.
Maybe you're not anybody's type.
Right. I do think it's interesting though that men. I'll like hear a guy say, oh yeah, girl's funny, and I'll be like, is she? They do have there is a standard of guy to find a woman funny that's like a little quieter and a little calmer. Like there's this comedian, I'm not gonna say her name because I don't want to. She's like, I think she's so fucking funny, this girl. I'm gonna say her name after. she does present with more masculine energy, and she is like a loud oh, where's your dick out?
Oh, okay, yeah,
that kind of like thing.
But she's really funny.
She's so.
I know what you're talking about.
Every guy I've sent a clip of her to, and they're like, she's not that funny. I think for a woman to be funny to a guy, there's like a certain way you have to do it.
And you also have to kind of be hot. You have to either be like a total cow and really unhot, and then they can just be like, oh, she's in the funny bucket, and that's it. Or you also have to be hot. That's just it. Like, men find hot girls funny who aren't funny, and if you are funny, you also have to be hot.
And it's very hard to be hot and act like that. Like, she's I
But
feel
she
like
also
she's,
doesn't lean into the hot girl thing.
but do you think
She's very tomboyish.
when you're really dressed up and really like a lot of makeup, it is harder to be funny
Yeah, for sure. Because that's not your lane.
and you're also like in your feminine, and you're just like so.
funny's aggressive.
So right. So my point is like, even if you got really hot, could you even have the energy to like exude that? You know,
I think you wouldn't be necessary. I think that there's a masculine quality to being funny where, like, when a man is funny, it's because that's how he got girls.
that's how the girls trust them.
Yeah, but it's like they need that. That's like what is it?
Biological.
Evolutionary thing to get girls to like you and then to have babies and whatever. But girls don't need that. You just need to be hot. If you're funny, that's a little cherry on top. Actually can even work against you. If you like, if men think you're crass or whatever, you're going to turn off a certain kind of guy.
So you can be like cleverly funny.
You can be cute hot.
Quirky. You can
tweet cute things.
Right. And you can also be like, like witty. Like,
Yes.
being witty is nice.
Right.
Because I've heard like guys say, "Oh, she's like funny," and I'm like thinking, "Is she that funny?"
She's hot. It's like she's like, entertaining and hot.
But it's like the vibe of her. You know what guys like when you're like sarcastic. They love that.
Yeah.
They love a sarcastic bitch.
They love that feeds into guys like a girl that's kind of hard to get.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit mean.
Yeah,
and sarcastic is a little bit like keeping people on their toes.
Like a
you know
ball
what I mean?
buster.
Yes.
Like men love a ball buster.
They love getting their balls busted.
And I also-
Andrew, he's saying he doesn't. Andrew's shaking his head. He's making a sour face. Why?
Andrew hates his podcast. Our producer hates his podcast.
Our producer is quiet quitting as we speak. Wait, why? You don't like a ball buster?
I could see like, being annoying after a while. Like if it's just like
if
that.
it's like too much.
Yeah, if that's like that personality trait. Like what? I just bust your balls.
You don't like that.
But like a feminine way. Haven't you met these girls? They're like ball busters, but they're like.
But it's like cute and flirty.
But it's like this. It's like oh, because that's the jacket you're wearing. You know what I mean? It's like that. Like it's a part of the conversation.
Yes.
And
you know what though? When I've like dated guys and just even in like so I was dating this guy and he we were literally in his building, like he lived in this really chic apartment building, and some people were getting together to like watch the sunset. So he was like, I'm gonna change. So this is bougie, like Williamsburg stuff.
Oh my god, it's so stupid. What the hell?
Wait, this is what people in their 30s do, okay? In these like nice high-rise apartments. So he was like, it was summer. We had like been sweating all day, and he was like, I'm just gonna change real quick. And I was like, great. So he changes into like shorts and then this like long like cloth vest.
Yeah.
This like billowy vest. And he was like, I go, is that what you're wearing? And he was like, yeah. I go, okay, Aladdin. Like, I go, we're gonna take your magic carpet upstairs.
And he loved it.
No, it hurt his feelings.
Oh.
I know. And I was like, he was like, really? And I was like, I mean, I think you're handsome, but that is silly. Like, that's a silly. Well, and he's like, you really don't like it. I said, I didn't like it. I said, you look like you're about to fly out the door. And he had to change out of it. And I could tell that his feelings were hurt. So I didn't like immediately want, like, what did you think that vest was what reaction were you looking for?
Right. Well, he wants.
It's not Burning Man. We're in your house.
Right. And we're watching the sunset in Brooklyn, which it does every single day.
It literally has never not set.
We could do this tomorrow.
And you could wear the vest then. We're going to be around other people, though.
Yes, and the sun will set no matter where we are in the world.
Why don't you just wear the vest at home? Like, why wouldn't we have to
Is
leave
it a
your
special,
apartment?
like, sunsetting
It's a sunset vest.
He was upset with me. And I was like, oh, you don't want a girl to, like, ever, we were not compatible.
Yeah, he sounds like an idiot.
He was a pain in the ass.
I don't understand. His friends get together every sunset?
No, it was just, they were like, hey, we're just going to be, like, up here, like, chilling. Like, we're going to just get a drink.
It would be so much funner if you told me, yes, he had a group of friends, like, every sunset they get together in Williamsburg in their rooftop.
Yeah, it was actually a cult.
Anyway.
Okay, next one.
This might sound really stupid, but when Kim Kardashian said you wouldn't put a bumper sticker on a Bentley, I kind of agree. Don't get me wrong. I'm fucking covered. I'm covered, right? But if I looked like Margot Robbie, I would never fucking get a tattoo in my life. I would never touch that. Like if I was Adriana Lima,
Oh, that's a throwback.
you couldn't pay me $10
How old is
million
this chick?
fucking dollars
I think she does have tattoos.
to get a tattoo. Why would you mess with perfection?
That's a really good point. I mean, I don't have any tattoos.
I don't either, but sometimes it's cool looking. I don't know if
It
it's
is
all
cool
like
looking,
fuck
and it's not because I'm indecisive.
Yeah, me too. I can't commit.
I can't commit. Like
I'll hate it. I'll hate it.
I need something that's reversible.
Do they not have tattoos that like fade in a year or
Yeah,
something?
they do.
That's actually cool as shit.
It is. I'm too scared for that.
Why? But
Because it's a year. What if I meet the love of my life and he's like, oh, like my thing is like I can never be with a girl with tattoos. I'd be like,
I feel like I see Gen Zers with every Gen Z I see has a tattoo. It's like not that like, oh, she has tattoos.
Gen Zers get their first tattoo on their face.
Yeah, like literally.
That's a different culture.
That's their first gay relationship, which is,
Well, there's tattoo artists that are like, I won't, like, if you're not a heavily tattooed person, I'm not tattooing your hand, neck, or face. Like, I'm just not doing it. You have to be fully committed to the lifestyle of having tattoos before I do that. But now there's this whole generation of like these Xanax SoundCloud rappers that all start here on the face and then their second tattoos like on their hand. I'm like, you just wanted to ruin your life right off the bat.
Yeah. You don't want to
The
ease
only
into
way
it.
the only way to cover that up is with a full burqa. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my God, poor babies. But I will say this. I think as a society, we are accepting a tattoo person. It's not as like, oh, you have tattoos. Whoa.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Like even like the corporate world, like I see people with tattoos. Like it's
There's people in the corporate world who are covered head to toe.
Yeah, like it's not like that, like, oh, it's inappropriate, you know?
It isn't.
And it's not like, well, you're such a badass. Look at you with the tattoos, like, you know?
It isn't. And I almost feel bad for tattoo people where it's like, I think if you're going for super badass, you have to go so far with it for it to be badass. If you just have like a tattoo here, a tattoo on your ribs or whatever, you're every girl.
Yeah, right.
You're all of us. You're every girl that ever lived.
You have a tramp stamp, a tribal tramp stamp tattoo from the 90s. Ooh, that's a bad one, babe. Ooh.
You ever see those videos that ask tattoo artists like, what is something that this generation gets? Like, they're like, what's something that millennials get? And they're like, tramp stamp. They go, what's something that Gen Z gets? Or like angel numbers.
Really?
Gen Z loves it.
Hell yeah, I love that. Like, that sounds like pure. Like, why do we get? Well, I'm not a millennial. I'm like, okay.
I'm not a millennial.
I'm
a cool
Gen
millennial.
Z. I'm a Gen Z presenting. But like they get the tribal tattoos. That was like the big thing in the 90s. The millennials got the you know what I'm
Well, that
talking
was
about,
the
Andrew?
Pam Anderson. Like,
That was a barbed wire. That was a barbed
Yeah.
wire.
Oh, that's not tribal.
No, the tribal
My
tattoo
bad.
is like the like circle, whatever. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Oh my god. First of all, y'all need to learn what satire is. It's gonna change your life. If you are looking for easy to get humor, you are not going to find it here. My sense of humor is dry, sarcastic, and requires intelligence. Meaning, if like the funniest thing in the world to you is a fart joke, and the funniest person in the world to you is like Jonah Hill, I'm never gonna be your girl.
Those are two funny
That's okay.
things.
You cannot wrap your mind around somebody using a hyperbolic statement for the sake of comedy. You're not going to get my videos. You might as well
It's
just
comedy?
move on. On a more serious note, I decided a long time ago I was going to call myself pretty. Yes, because I think it's funny, but also because it makes men so angry. It makes a lot of older women angry too, which is so sad. I hope I don't get to that point when I'm like 40 where I just start hating younger women. Because you can tell it comes from like hating themselves, which is depressing, but I digress. I think it's interesting that I'll post a video calling myself pretty and people would be like, oh my god, why does she think she's pretty? Like, why is she calling herself pretty? Why do I think I'm pretty? I don't know. Maybe because it's been shoved down my throat and every other woman's throat since we were far too young for it to be appropriate. Maybe because when I was 5 years old in grocery stores with my mother, men would stop my mom to tell them that the boys are going to be obsessed with me when I get older. Maybe because when I was 10 years old walking home from school, men would lean out the side of their cars to yell inappropriate things at me. They thought I was pretty, right? Maybe because when I was 15 and taking the bus home from high school, a man sat really, really close to me and told me I was really pretty, and when I didn't give him any attention and it was my turn to get off the bus, he stood in front of the exit and told me I couldn't get off the bus until I called him daddy. He thought I was really pretty. Maybe it's because countless men from the ages of 18 to 21 have yelled at me in bars and called me names because I've refused to give them my phone number. They thought I was pretty. Maybe it's because I've been harassed, inappropriately touched, followed home, screamed at, made to feel unsafe in public spaces, and their excuses for all of those actions was because they think I'm pretty. It's a compliment. And I just find it so funny that all of those things I just said are socially acceptable. And the thing that's deemed weird is me calling myself pretty. They can all do it in those super aggressive, disgusting ways, but I can't. because I'm a bitch if I do. And the funniest part of this is that there was a time in my life in which I didn't think I was pretty. I was in multiple treatment centers for my eating disorder. I hated myself internally, externally, and sometimes I would express that verbally. I would say, you know, I don't like my body and I'm uncomfortable with certain things about myself and I don't like my face and I don't like this and I don't like that. And you know what I received every single time I said that? That I was fishing, that I'm pretty and I know it, that I should stop begging for compliments because it's not cute. So it's almost like every woman is damned if they do and damned if they don't. I am not an exception. I am not the world's prettiest woman. I was not a cute kid. None of these things happened to me because I am so strikingly beautiful. I'm just a woman. Like, this is just something that happens to every woman. That video of me calling myself pretty riled you up. Good. It was meant to.
She's like stunningly gorgeous.
She's stunningly beautiful. Yeah.
I don't. That's the thing that, like, when you're calling herself pretty, like, she is exceptionally pretty.
Yeah, she is. To her point, though, like, I get what she's saying. Like, there is like a female experience where, like, you get harassed or whatever. It's called being a woman. People just want to have sex with women.
Right, but she is
Uncommonly pretty.
She is an insanely gorgeous girl.
She's very, very pretty.
And
yeah.
I actually loved where she went with this. And
Yeah, well, she, I like that she just, like, confronted it head on and didn't get upset that TikTok was getting mad at her. Like, good for her, because TikTok's so mean.
It's so mean. And also, like, who cares if she says she's, like, I don't know.
Well, she made this other TikTok that was talking about her being pretty, and, like, people lost their shit about it.
Why? She literally is the epitome of, she's gorgeous.
She's like an angel.
Yeah, I mean, she's literally, it's filters. A lot of it's filters, but even without the filters, you can tell.
A filter can't make busted look pretty.
Right. Well, it can make you look like exceptional. I mean,
But not the beauty filter on TikTok. That just a little bit helps you.
Right. You don't have texture. She doesn't have. I'm sure in real life she has a little more texture than you'd think. But
Yeah, she must be textured.
But she's. I mean, physically, I mean, the symmetry is gorgeous. The blue. I mean, yeah, you're right. The filter can't make your symmetrical.
Not that filter.
Right. Exactly.
So does she have just the casually sitting in my car filter on? No,
like where it like expands her face, have like perfect symmetry, gorgeous, stunning blue eyes. I mean, they do have filters for eyes, but that doesn't look filtered.
No,
eyes.
it didn't look filtered to me either. But good for her, man. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's so funny because she's like, I'm just too funny, and you don't get satire, and you don't get humor, and you don't get people exaggerating to be funny.
Yeah, that part was annoying. I'm like,
I know.
Shut the fuck up.
I know. I want like you're just pretty.
Yeah.
You don't also have to be like the smartest person in the room. You're so pretty.
Well, then that's your point.
That's
like,
your
I'm
lane.
confusing what she's trying to say. Was she joking when she said she's pretty, or like I don't understand?
No, I know that was a confusing point because like she's like I was just joking, but she wasn't. She's like
But
I'm actually being dead serious because it's what I am.
So did she do? What was her first TikTok? Like, oh, I'm just because I'm pretty. Like, what was her TikTok?
I don't remember.
She was like, I didn't like her. So just like
Why didn't you like her?
If you don't understand what hyperbolic means, then you're not.
Yeah,
because I'm so smart.
patronizing.
Yeah,
The
I'm so
beginning part was
intelligent, and my humor
weird.
is above yours.
Yeah.
The beginning part was weird. Her whole thing about. I agree with her. Women are damned if they do, damned if they don't. It's like, oh, like you know, be pretty, but don't know you're pretty.
You're not allowed to say it. Andrew, will you go to her page and see like what the video before that was, so we can maybe see her original?
You know
pretty
what
video?
I hate about the? Can I say one hypocrisy that I think she's?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like when people are like, be pretty, but don't get Botox. Be pretty, but don't get like, you know.
How do you think this works? Oh, is it pretty people get hurt too? Wait, go up. Go up. Oh,
She's stunning.
Yeah.
She's so gorgeous.
We do this one. It is this one.
If you're ever having a hard day, just remember, I've been cheated on. I don't have the beauty filter on, and these are my real eyes. I've been cheated on. If you've been cheated on and you feel insecure, it's never about you. Because I've been cheated on. Surely it can't be about me. You might be thinking, well, maybe her personality sucks. No, unfortunately not. I'm hilarious and incredibly smart. And I got cheated on. And if you didn't get cheated on and you're not feeling insecure and you're just having a bad day, just remember, somebody had me. They were in a relationship with me. Wrapped around his fucking finger, I would have married this guy. Fumbled. Lost me for good. Forever. So you could be having the worst fucking day of your whole life. But you're not that guy. So it's not that bad. Unless you are that guy. And in which case, stop watching my videos and my Instagram stories and texting my family. You weird little man. That's all. I'm gonna go cry. But I'm not that guy. so I won't cry too much.
Oh my God, it's giving theater school.
Yeah, but I love it.
It's giving I wrote my own screenplay,
No, but
isn't it?
I love that.
Andrew hates this girl.
I hate her so.
I love
a girl
this
like me who's
TikTok.
so smart and funny. And like
I'm incredibly smart.
it can happen to me. And like it could happen because of my personality, because I'm so smart and funny.
I think that's what she was being sarcastic. Though. That was her sarcasm.
See, here's the thing. I think she's making a good point in a very young girl way, where she starts out like condescending and unrelatable, but then when she gets into her point, you're like, oh, you're connecting with us.
Exaggerating.
Oh yeah, I think the point that she's making is valid, but I just think like you can see through it's like a fake thing for views, for likes, and she's just manipulating us. And this guy doesn't exist. Maybe
It's coming across so NYU
Inauthentic.
Tisch School of Arts. Like
Yeah.
I've met so many girls like that, where because you can see where she's like, but you're not that guy. Like that, she wrote that line. Like she's
Yeah.
being like
Take
Drew
beat.
Barrymore and Never Been Kid. Like she
Meryl
wrote
Streep.
that to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
cast in something.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
But she also
and my stories
sorry.
and talking to my family.
Right.
You weird little man.
Weird
I
little-
actually
supposed to
love
be
that
memed.
TikTok. I thought that was really fun. I thought that was like really funny and cute. I liked it. I like her now more. But I mean, I think she's stunning, and I will say this: she is not wrong. Of like, well, why can't I think I'm pretty? What's wrong with thinking I'm pretty?
No, 100%. I think Andrew's not reacting to the content. I think he's reacting to the like
girl.
the whiff of sociopath that you get from someone like acting out this TikTok and putting it on the internet and then doubling down on another TikTok. Like I get it. That part of her personality does seem off-putting, but her
Yeah.
points are valid and she's a beautiful girl and what she's saying is true.
Like if I was just like, oh, like guys, like you can get cheated on too. Like even if you look like a god, like I do, and,
Right, like, literally,
it can
yeah.
happen to you too. So like,
Right. Even if a guy did, so, like, if
they-
her point is like, oh, you no. Even if a guy did that, you go, fuck you.
Go fuck yourself. I
Shut
know.
up.
But I also
I get it,
respect
yeah.
someone who's willing to lean into being unlikable to make a likable point.
Right.
I do respect that. You know, that it takes, and she has a lot of TikToks, so it's like she's been doing this over and over and
million
over.
views.
I guess like I feel like maybe like I think women like they respect beauty in other women a lot. I
Yeah.
feel like I don't watch a video and be like he's so handsome. Like I love him and I love what he's saying and the way he dresses. Like that doesn't ever come in. So it's like
Right.
it's
So
like against that. It's like you gotta look cool and tough, but like
Right,
you
right,
can't be
right.
trying. You
She's-
can't be manicured.
I get it. This is not something that appeals to men. She's talking to women and men. Like this wasn't a video
This
for
wouldn't
men.
be a guy going, she's really funny.
Yeah. No, a guy wouldn't be like, oh, her personality is great.
I mean, her eyes are so beautiful. Like I don't know. Even just like saying like I know my eyes are so beautiful.
These are my real eyes. But that was a funny line.
Was it? Oh, I didn't. I thought it was like serious.
Oh,
I
you
took it as
hate her.
pure
Like,
serious.
all right, so she does come off as an inauthentic brat. I'll give her that. But there is a confusing thing for women in beauty,
And
where
she's-
it's like, but listen, okay, so there's a confusing thing with women in beauty where it's like, be beautiful but don't get Botox. Be beautiful but don't wear makeup.
Be beautiful, but don't think it.
Right, don't think it. Be beautiful but like don't diet.
Yeah, be beautiful, but don't check yourself out in random windows when
Right,
you're walking down the street.
Like, be beautiful but don't try to be beautiful. We can't know you're trying to be
right,
like the
be
Huck
beautiful,
Toy.
but think you're ugly or else you're a bitch.
Right, it's like be beautiful but be like the Huck Toy girl where it's like she doesn't try to be pretty.
She spits on it.
Right,
She's
exactly.
no problem. Yeah, be that girl.
Right.
She didn't say, they didn't say, how do you keep a man? She said, by being really hot.
No.
She didn't say that. She said you spit on it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
we want that girl. We want you to
Right.
look like her and say Huck
Right,
to her.
but I guess my point is also we don't want to see you trying to be pretty.
Right.
If you
we
don't
don't wanna see
if
what's
you get
acknowledging
Botox,
it.
right? So we're like be pretty, but if we see someone have Botox, we go, ugh, she got Botox.
Right.
It's like okay, but
Who
you
does she
said
think she? Or men go, I hate when a girl gets Botox. You don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
You hate when it's overdone because everybody hates everything when it's overdone because it's overdone.
Right.
It doesn't look good. But when a girl has subtle work, you don't know that that's what
literally
happened.
that makes it good. That makes it natural.
You have no idea.
Right,
When
exactly.
you don't know that a girl's wearing makeup and you say, I like a girl that's not wearing makeup, you don't know what that is, though.
You like the natural look. That's what you mean to say. But also, when people, and this drives me crazy as someone who like tries to eat healthy or whatever, it's like, we want a girl that's hot and thin, but don't eat salads.
Right. Oh, don't be the girl that orders out. How do you think that this happens?
You think it happens by accident?
Right.
You want, that's what I'm saying. The men want the Hawk Tour girl that like is like, she ate salad? I'm getting chicken wings. So yeah, it's like, all right,
for
have
every-
two, girl.
For
all right.
every meal. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Anyway,
That's our show. You guys, I always have a blast doing these. You guys, that was so fun. Once again, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at any time.
I know you guys are like on the brink of like, should I reach out to them? Or
Yeah, you
I
should.
not?
If this is okay, if you're watching this is your sign to reach out to us. We'll put our social and everything in the description, and you can always find us online. We won't bore you with the details, but find us if you feel like rating us as even beyond. But come say hi and come hang out with us again next week.
We love you.
Love you so much.